You've worked hard your whole life. Now it's your time to explore, to see the world, to visit your grandkids, or finally take that dream cruise. But let me gently warn you, travel after 70 isn't the same as it was at 40. There are risks no one talks about. Hidden dangers that sneak up on you, not just health-related, but emotional and practical too. And if you don't know what to look out for, even a short trip can turn into a painful memory. I'm here to make sure that doesn't happen to you or your loved ones. 1. Travel fatigue and overexertion. Travel fatigue and overexertion are often underestimated risks, especially for people over 70. While planning a trip can bring excitement, packing in too many destinations, excursions, or long days without breaks can quietly take a toll on the body. Seniors are more vulnerable to exhaustion than younger travelers because energy levels naturally decline with age, and the body's ability to recover from stress slows down. A schedule that includes non-stop walking tours, multiple flights in a short time, or back-to-back days of sightseeing might seem doable at first, but it can lead to serious fatigue that accumulates quickly and silently. This kind of fatigue doesn't always feel dramatic. It can start with mild tiredness, but when ignored, it builds into something more dangerous, such as confusion, dizziness, or even increased risk of falling. According to geriatric specialists, overexertion in older adults can weaken the immune system, leaving the body more susceptible to infections picked up during travel. Even a minor cold can turn into something serious when the body is run down and stressed. In some cases, overexertion has been linked to flare-ups of chronic conditions like arthritis, high blood pressure, or heart issues, especially if rest and hydration are neglected. Traveling also often comes with sleep disruptions, whether it's jet lag, a different mattress, or unfamiliar surroundings. Sleep is the body's primary tool for healing, and without it, energy reserves drain faster than most people realize. Seniors often need more consistent rest to maintain alertness and muscle strength. When that rest is sacrificed for early morning, tours, or late-night meals, it increases the likelihood of exhaustion-related issues. Some doctors recommend building in one rest day for every 2 days of activity when planning a trip after 70. That day doesn't mean staying in bed, but rather avoiding time pressures and allowing the body to recover. Dehydration is another subtle companion to travel fatigue. Long days in the sun, dry airplane cabins, and irregular meal schedules can all contribute to fluid loss, which makes fatigue worse. Seniors naturally have a reduced sense of thirst, and overexertion can push the body into a state of dehydration before the signs become obvious. Symptoms such as lightheadedness, rapid heartbeat, or dry mouth may be dismissed as simple tiredness, but they can be early signs of more serious issues. 2. Deep vein thrombosis from prolonged sitting. Deep vein thrombosis, commonly known as DVT, is a potentially life-threatening condition that becomes a greater concern with age, especially during long periods of sitting such as on flights, trains, or buses. DVT occurs when a blood clot forms in a deep vein, typically in the leg. For travelers over 70, the risk increases significantly due to slower circulation, reduced mobility, and changes in blood vessel elasticity. Long hours in a cramped seat without movement allow blood to pool in the lower limbs, which can trigger clot formation. According to vascular specialists, seniors are particularly vulnerable because aging veins are less efficient at pushing blood back toward the heart. Once a clot forms, it can silently grow without any immediate symptoms. In some cases, there may be swelling, warmth, or a dull ache in the calf or thigh, but many experience no warning signs. The true danger lies in what can happen if the clot breaks loose. If it travels to the lungs, it can cause a pulmonary embolism, a blockage in one of the arteries in the lungs that can be fatal. Medical researchers emphasize that pulmonary embolisms from travel-related DVT are one of the leading causes of sudden death in otherwise healthy travelers. Flights longer than 4 hours are particularly risky because cabin pressure and low humidity can further thicken the blood. The risk is not limited to air travel, however. Long road trips without adequate stops or even extended waiting periods in airports or terminals can have the same effect. Some doctors recommend moving around at least once every hour during travel, even if it's just standing or doing a few leg stretches in place. For those with limited mobility or pre-existing conditions like varicose veins, high blood pressure, or a history of clotting, compression stockings may also help reduce the risk. Studies show that hydration plays a key role in preventing DVT. Dehydrated blood flows more slowly and clots more easily. Seniors are especially prone to underhydration because the body's thirst response weakens with age. During travel, it's important to drink water consistently, even if it means more frequent bathroom trips. Avoiding alcohol and caffeine, which can dehydrate the body, is also strongly advised by many medical professionals during long journeys. 3. Travel-related dehydration. Travel-related dehydration is a serious health risk that often goes unnoticed, especially among seniors. As people age, the body's ability to conserve water decreases, and the sense of thirst becomes less accurate. This makes it easier to become dehydrated without even realizing it. During travel, whether by plane, train, or car, the conditions are often dry and routines are disrupted. Add in hotter climates or extended time outdoors, and the risk increases significantly. For those over 70, even mild dehydration can lead to serious complications such as confusion, dizziness, fatigue, and fainting, which may result in falls or injuries. The cabin air on airplanes is particularly dehydrating due to its extremely low humidity levels, sometimes less than 20%, which is drier than most deserts. On long flights, it's common to go hours without drinking water, especially when sleep or limited mobility makes it inconvenient to get up. At the same time, coffee, tea, and alcoholic beverages are often consumed more freely during travel, but these drinks can act as diuretics, increasing fluid loss rather than replenishing it. Health experts emphasize that even a small drop in hydration can affect blood pressure regulation and cognitive clarity, especially in older adults. Hot or tropical destinations create an additional challenge. In warmer temperatures, the body loses fluids through sweat, often without visible signs. Seniors tend to sweat less than younger adults, which can trick the body into thinking it's not losing as much water. However, internal fluid loss still occurs, and without enough water intake, the body begins to feel the effects. Some doctors warn that in older adults, dehydration can quickly escalate to more serious issues, like urinary tract infections, kidney strain, or irregular heartbeat, especially if certain medications are involved that already affect fluid balance. Symptoms of dehydration can be subtle. A dry mouth, slight headache, muscle cramps, or increased heart rate may not immediately raise concern, but these are often the early signs. In more advanced cases, dehydration can impair decision-making, cause confusion, and even mimic signs of a stroke. Studies have shown that older adults hospitalized for dehydration often had no idea they were at risk until the symptoms became severe. For travelers, this means a health emergency far from home, where access to proper care may be delayed or unfamiliar. Preventing travel-related dehydration requires more than just drinking when thirsty. It involves planning ahead and maintaining a consistent fluid intake, even when it doesn't feel necessary. Doctors often recommend sipping water throughout the day rather than relying on large amounts at once. Using a refillable water bottle and choosing water-rich foods like fruits or soups during meals can also help. While it's important to stay hydrated, it's equally important to not overdo it. Excess fluid intake can be problematic for individuals with certain heart or kidney conditions. That's why individual hydration needs should be discussed with a healthcare provider before traveling. 4. Medications and medical supplies. Traveling with medications and medical supplies requires careful attention, especially for those over 70. As routines change during a trip, it becomes easier to miss doses, take the wrong medication at the wrong time, or run out completely. Older adults often take multiple prescriptions daily, and any disruption can lead to serious health consequences. According to health experts, even a single missed dose of blood pressure medication, insulin, or heart medication can cause dangerous complications. This is why doctors strongly recommend bringing more medication than you expect to need, ideally enough for several extra days in case of delays or unexpected changes in your travel plans. Airports, long drives, and hotel check-ins can create situations where medication is packed away or forgotten altogether. Some travelers store their medicine in checked luggage, but this is risky. Bags can get lost or delayed, and temperature-sensitive medications may become ineffective if not stored properly. Travel health advisors recommend keeping all critical medications in your carry-on bag, easily reachable at all times. For those using pill organizers, keeping the original prescription bottles can be helpful when going through customs or security checks, especially for international travel. These containers clearly show that the medication is legally prescribed and properly labeled. Time zone changes can also affect medication schedules. A dose normally taken at 8 a.m. at home might fall in the middle of the night at your destination. Some doctors suggest creating a temporary travel schedule based on your destination's time zone to avoid confusion. Skipping or doubling up on medication due to time zone miscalculations can be dangerous. This is particularly true for medications that affect blood sugar, blood pressure, or mood. Pharmacists can often help create a travel dosing chart to make this transition safer and simpler. Certain medications may also have side effects that interact with travel conditions. For example, diuretics can increase the need to use the restroom frequently, which can be difficult on long trips with limited access to facilities. Others, like sedatives or medications that cause drowsiness, can raise the risk of confusion or falls, especially in unfamiliar surroundings. Doctors warn that seniors should know how their medications affect them under different conditions, whether it's high altitudes, dehydration, or unusual food patterns, and make adjustments accordingly. Emergency planning is equally important. Having a printed list of all current medications, dosages, and prescribing doctors can be invaluable in case of a medical emergency. In foreign countries, language barriers may complicate communication with healthcare providers, so having clear documentation can help avoid dangerous errors. Some seniors also wear medical alert bracelets, especially if they have conditions like diabetes, epilepsy, or severe allergies. These simple precautions can speed up care and prevent misunderstandings during treatment. Medical supplies should not be overlooked either. Those who rely on glucose monitors, inhalers, blood pressure cuffs, or mobility aids should double-check that all batteries, chargers, or replacement parts are packed and functional. If refrigeration is needed, portable coolers with gel packs may be necessary. Travel clinics often advise seniors to carry a doctor's note explaining why these items are essential, which can help avoid issues with airport security or hotel staff. Proper planning around medications is not just about convenience, it's about safety and peace of mind. For seniors, maintaining consistent access to needed treatments is one of the most important ways to ensure a smooth and healthy trip. A small oversight can quickly turn into a medical emergency, but a little preparation can make all the difference. 5. Vulnerability to infectious diseases. Traveling to new places exposes the body to unfamiliar environments, and for seniors over 70, this brings a higher risk of encountering infectious diseases. With age, the immune system naturally becomes less robust, making it harder to fight off bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens that might not be a problem for younger travelers. This vulnerability means that infections like the flu, pneumonia, or gastrointestinal illnesses can hit harder and lead to more serious complications. According to public health experts, what might start as a mild fever or stomach bug in a younger adult could quickly escalate in an older person, sometimes requiring hospitalization. Doctors often warn that many destinations, especially those in tropical or developing regions, have different health risks that may not be present at home. Contaminated water, unfamiliar foodborne bacteria, and mosquito-borne illnesses like dengue or malaria are just a few examples. Even staying in highly developed areas doesn't eliminate risk entirely. Airports, hotels, and public transport systems are common places for viruses to spread, especially during cold and flu season. These crowded environments can be hotspots for airborne diseases, which are easily inhaled by those standing or sitting nearby. Vaccination is one of the most important protections for older travelers. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that seniors stay current on routine vaccines like influenza, shingles, pneumococcal disease, and COVID-19, especially before travel. Depending on the destination, travel-specific vaccines, such as hepatitis A, typhoid, or yellow fever, may also be advised. Some countries even require proof of certain vaccinations for entry. Travel health clinics can guide seniors through this process, reviewing their medical history and helping determine which vaccines are needed for the trip. 6. Unsafe or inaccessible transportation. Transportation can quickly become one of the most dangerous parts of a trip for seniors over 70, especially when it's not designed with accessibility or safety in mind. Getting in and out of vehicles. With high steps, navigating steep stairs at train stations, or climbing onto buses without proper handrails can put serious strain on aging joints and muscles. Many older adults have balance issues, arthritis, or reduced mobility that make these movements not only difficult but dangerous. A simple misstep while boarding a vehicle or exiting a cab can lead to falls, broken bones, or other serious injuries that can derail the entire trip. Public transportation systems in some countries lack the infrastructure to support older travelers. Narrow pathways, fast-moving crowds, and platforms without elevators can pose significant hazards. Some trains, subways, and buses do not stop long enough for slower passengers to board safely, and escalators or moving walkways can be difficult for those who need extra time or assistance. Even in major cities, accessible options aren't always guaranteed, and relying on them without confirming in advance can leave seniors stranded or forced into uncomfortable and unsafe situations. Taxis and rideshare services can also present hidden risks. Older travelers may encounter vehicles that are too high or too low, making it hard to get in or out without strain. In unfamiliar cities, unregulated taxis may not meet proper safety standards. Some drivers rush the process, don't offer help, or drive recklessly. Seniors may also find that their luggage is not safely stored, leading to shifting bags that can cause injury if they fall or block exits. When language barriers are involved, it becomes even harder to express specific mobility needs or request safe alternatives. 7. Risk of falling while exploring new places. Falling is one of the leading causes of injury among seniors, and the risk increases significantly when walking through unfamiliar or poorly maintained areas while traveling. New environments often include unexpected hazards that aren't always obvious at first glance. Uneven sidewalks, cracked pavement, steep curbs, slick tiles, or cobblestone streets that can easily catch a foot or cause a stumble. Seniors over 70 are more vulnerable to these conditions because of reduced balance, slower reflexes, and changes in vision that make it harder to detect subtle shifts in terrain or spot obstacles in time. Exploring a new destination often involves a lot of walking, which increases exposure to these dangers. Historic cities, scenic parks, and local markets may be beautiful, but they frequently lack modern safety features. Many don't have handrails on stairs, ramps for easy access, or even proper lighting in walkways. Dimly lit areas especially, at night, can hide changes in elevation or make it difficult to see curbs and steps. In many cases, what seems like a short scenic walk can quickly become a safety hazard for older adults who aren't prepared for the conditions. Doctors and senior safety specialists often emphasize that a fall doesn't have to be dramatic to be dangerous. A single misstep can lead to sprained ankles, broken hips, or head injuries, conditions that can require long recovery times and, in some cases, permanent mobility changes. This is especially concerning when far from home, where access to familiar medical care may not be available. The emotional stress of being injured in a foreign place, combined with the potential complications from travel insurance, language barriers, and local medical practices, adds to the seriousness of a fall-related incident. Fatigue also plays a role. Long travel days and jet lag can affect focus and coordination, which are both critical for safely navigating new terrain. When the body is tired, it's more likely to make small mistakes, like catching a toe on a sidewalk edge or missing a bow step that wouldn't happen under normal conditions. Some seniors also rely on medications that can affect balance or cause dizziness, which further increases the risk when walking in areas that aren't flat or predictable. Weather can add another layer of risk. Rain can make sidewalks slippery, and heat can cause lightheadedness that leads to instability. In colder climates, icy patches may not be visible until it's too late. Because these conditions vary widely from one destination to another, even a well-traveled senior can be caught off guard. Local infrastructure may not be maintained to the standards many are used to, and some regions lack clear signage to warn about hazards. To reduce the risk of falling, it's important to take precautions before heading out. Many doctors recommend wearing supportive, slip-resistant shoes and using walking aids like canes if balance is a concern. Staying alert, watching every step, and avoiding distractions such as phone use while walking can make a real difference. Being cautious doesn't mean missing out on the experience. It means ensuring that the experience can continue safely and without interruption. Every step taken with awareness and preparation helps prevent injuries that could turn a joyful trip into a difficult recovery.